Hey there berries, welcome to my gathering guide for New World. If you are interested in more New World gathering guides, then be sure to subscribe as I'll have more stuff for you coming up shortly. But for now we're going to be talking about the best loop that I have found in the starting areas, which is between levels 1 and 25. The requirements for this, well, technically you could do this at level 1 if you really wanted to, but I would recommend at least having access to an extra bag slot. And being around about level 15 helps dealing with a couple of wild beasts, but you can always just run away from them if you want to. So this area is really good for pretty much every basic resource that you're going to need in terms of getting all your crafting stations up. So that includes iron, silver, gold, star metal. We also have hemp, we have petals, and Riverstems as well, which are for a quest at level 20 I believe, and they sell great for on the auction house. If you aren't level 20 yet, then I highly recommend saving 3 Riverstems and 3 petals, and you'll be able to hand them in instantly for a quest. Otherwise you'll have to buy them from the auction house, and they are pretty expensive right now, so you can always also use this to make money, which I have been doing. I've already gained 2,000 gold coin from just the Riverstems and the petals alone from all of this. In this location we also have a little bit of oil, which could be pretty helpful if you are making furniture or if you want to hand in some easy stuff at the boards in town for some easy XP. There's also even some skinning as well if you really want to when you're traveling. There's some does so you can get some venison. I think there's some boars around as well, and the odd cougar. And if I haven't mentioned already, there's hemp, which is great gathering XP as well. So the whole loop provides everything, and you can fill up all of your inventory in 1 or 2 loops, and then head straight back, and then you can repeat the process if you wish. So I'm going to be showing you a map. The map I'm going to be showing you is going to be in First Light, which is the starter zone at the very bottom of the map, and then we're going to be heading to the north section of here, where there is a Las Torres Lockout Fast Travel Spirit Shrine, and you're going to be wanting to head there at the start. And on this map we have red lines and blue lines. You can feel free to pause the video or speed this up as much as you like. So the red lines is where the main loop is. Following the red loop will give you the optimal amount of iron ore, and you'll be coming across some silver and touching on the hemp. Depending on how much you want to spend in that river just to the north section of the map, that's where you can get all the petals. There's some oil dotted around there too, and you also have those river stems. So you have great amounts of extra resources there if you wish to gather those. The blue is the track that you can take off to to get those extra resources. The first little we're starting at the fast travel point on the left. We're going north, and then we're heading to east, so following the east to the red, and then you see the first bit of blue going down into the south. There you have some star metal. You have a little bit of iron in that area too. And then if you head back up, you see the first blue circle kind of in the bottom right hand corner of the red loop. That's where there is silver. I'll show you all in the gameplay video, so don't worry about this if you want to watch the video instead if this is unclear. And then you can follow the track around. The second blue circle in this more center of the map is where the hemp is. There's a tiny bit of iron there too. And then you can follow on the top right hand corner there's an arrow, and I'm going to show in the video the location. There is another area where there's much more iron, and there's more gold and some silver as well. But I will say that it's more contested because north of there is a settlement. So people can just run from that settlement, and they're like doing loops around up there, which is very heavily contested, whereas this area here is not as contested. So I would advise following the red, going across the river into, taking whatever resources you want. And then the next kind of unpassable terrain, as it's labeled on the map, the black areas, if you head over there, there's some more star metal at the top north of there. and you make your way down the cliff. All the way down the cliff there should be iron, and then at the top left hand corner there is a mountain there that has gold. So you take the gold, as much of it as you want, and then you loop all the way back around, and you can, you know, go to the fast travel again to travel away if your bag's inventory is already full, or you can just keep looping around as much and as often as you want to. So now we're going to be showing you the video of me doing the actual gathering loop. So if you think you've already got that information, then I wish you all the best. If you want to as well, if you want to just chill and watch my loop or have it playing on your second monitor as you're gathering yourself, you're more than welcome to. But basically from the fast travel point, you're going to want to head to the northeast and start making your way over there. And I'll mention some bits into the video occasionally as we get them. So there are a couple of people that have also found this location. We're going to be seeing a couple of areas where they have already gathered. You can already hear someone mining in the background. But there are still plenty of resources. Iron ore respawns roughly every 15 minutes. I haven't personally timed it, but it is fairly consistent, like respawns. Like if you do this loop, you generally get some things, and that's what I was talking about earlier. If those beasts, you better obviously just run away from them if you want to, but occasionally one or two may aggro you on this loop. So here we're coming to the first iron ore, which here we are on the map, showing you where it is, northeast from the fast travel point. And you will be hearing my voice again once we get to the next destination. So here I ended up running back because the node match actually respawned on the way back. It is a good idea if you are mining, just have a quick look behind you just to make sure those nodes haven't respawned. Sometimes I've seen an iron vein being gathered and then instantly respawn after about a minute. So sometimes the respawn timers can be very strange. So it's worth having a quick check. So we're going to be heading back down to where we were, and then we're going to be jumping on a ledge, which isn't too tricky to get up to. So just follow the path down, and on the left, we're just going to be jumping up a rock. And there's going to be even more iron. So here is where you're going to want to start looking to jump up. So just in front, that massive long strip or bridge, the arch, you'll want to climb up there if you want to. Or first you can head over here into this little section here where I managed to get a respawn of it. There is a lot of hemp in this little section here, plus there is a little bit of iron. So if you're after your hemp and you want to get the harvesting XP, you can do, or, you know, as I show back into the original video, there's actually a couple of iron veins here that you can grab as well. So this is where the hemp and the iron are. Hemp is really, really good harvesting experience. If you know, not just for, it's great for the cloth for sure, but in terms of harvesting, hemp is by far, hands down, the best experience. So it, in my opinion, it is just worth taking, even if you don't need the cloth, and you can always just sell the cloth on the trading post. So here we're going to be crossing the stone bridge. So just hug the left-hand wall, just climb your way over. Nothing too tricky here. I'm sure you'll be able to manage it. And there's a lot of iron on this arch as well. There's around about 8 spawns here. If you have it tracking, once you hit a certain level in iron in mining, I think it's around about level 30-ish. You'll be able to then start tracking the iron on your compass at the top. And that makes it a bit easier finding where all the iron is hiding around. And unfortunately, there is another player coming in. But we're able to share a decent chunk. I think he gets about 2, and we managed to get about 4 or 5 of the iron nodes. So there's some on the right there, as that guy's mining, and then there's 2 on this side too. Now once we've mined these iron veins, there is a location which I put on the map, which is part of the blue trail. For this video, we're going to be sticking on the red for now, and then later on we're going to be coming back and revisiting it. But down that ledge where I'm looking at, where I'm zooming in with my bow, is where you would drop off to get the silver ore. Drop from that ledge down all the way down to the bottom. But for the purposes of the red track, we're going to keep taking the route that I labeled on the map, and we're going to be hugging the wall here. Silver ore is used for jewel crafting, if you're unaware, and you're going to need a lot of it. Jewel crafting is, in my opinion, the hardest one to level, because you need a lot of gems that you get from mining. And also there's another splash of silver here as well. Yeah, you're going to need a lot of it. And it's kind of brutal to level. I've managed to get my jewel crafting to 50, but I'm kind of stuck at the moment because I'm waiting for the trading stations to hit the appropriate level for me to be able to get the gems. And there's no furnace that can smelt gold at the moment. So I'm kind of hoarding gold ore at the moment, waiting for that to happen. There's a little bit more silver here. Nice little bit of silver. If you actually keep following the track down, there can be some more iron on this mountainous bit that I'm standing on. But you got some iron here too. So you can see there's a lot of iron on this track. Especially if you find that you get the zone to yourself, which honestly has happened quite often. I think a couple of players are starting to discover this bit so recently. But it's still generally pretty quiet, especially how easy it is to get to. I think it's because the settlement, there's a settlement to the northeast of here, and I think is a bit of a bait going the blue loop that I'm going to show you guys anyway. But I think a lot of people fight over those resources. Occasionally on the map, there will be at least level 25. That's the area that I'm showing there, the blue loop with the bear where you can go to. But we're not going to be going there, we're going to be going to the left. But occasionally in this area there will be these Azoth spawners, which are level 25 mobs, and they will hurt you. So do not bother going in there if you're not at the appropriate level. So you have to go around them. And these are the Petalcaps. So you need 3 of these in order to complete your quest, alongside 3 Riverstems. And there is a lot of Petalcaps around, and I was selling these on average 20 gold each. Yep, 20 gold each. And there's a lot of them around here. Now, over time, the price of these will obviously go down, but even if they were to sell at 3 each, I would say that's still worth the hassle of going to them and getting them. Obviously, if you don't want to get your harvesting up, or if you aren't able to harvest these yet, then skip along maybe a little bit, because we're going to be gathering some of the river stems, and there's a lot of river stems on this river. And right in front of me there is also a stag. You might need those for your settlement quests, or if you want some venison for cooking, that's also, you know, where you can get them, and some decent amount of hide. So once again, this area just has all the resources that you could ever want and need. Some more Petalcaps here. So sometimes it's also worth going around these edges of the river as well, not just for the harvesting, but also there can be the occasional iron ore spawning into. So that's why I'm hugging the river a little bit, just trying to make sure that I'm not missing any iron. And here we have some life bloom. So I didn't even mention that at the start of the video, but there's life bloom here as well. And I think there's the little blue herbs as well that you can harvest. I think they're called strangle or something. I can't quite remember. I don't gather them in this video, but there are a couple of those dotted around as well, in case you needed those. So here we're heading back to on track in terms of mining. There's actually a shock. I don't remember what it's called. I'm about to gather it. We should find out. A shock bulb. And this is a good indicator of where to kind of jump up, because just up here is going to be the star metal. Right next to this ship that's stuck at the end of this waterfall. There's some star metal. At the end of the video, I'm going to show me gathering them, because I was pretty happy about hitting 100 mining, and I'll show you how much I get from those. But there are 3 node spawns there. So yeah, you need 100 mining to get that. So don't bother climbing down if you don't have the mining, because it's a bit tricky to get back up. But if you keep following to the west, you'll find more iron veins. And you can go all the way down to check for iron veins. All the way west until this kind of terrain kind of stops. You can just see how abundant the iron resources here are in particular. Which I know a lot of people have been struggling for finding iron, so that's why I made this video. Now if you continue, my pick actually broke here, but if you actually continue from this location to the northwest, there are some fields which are great for hemp, and I'm going to make a video on that as well, where you can get some great amount of hemp and food for your cooking. Found some great locations, but you can keep going down the tail of that terrain. But now, next we're going to be heading to the area that has gold. And there is a lot of gold spawners here, but unfortunately as soon as they got here, someone found it and was mining it. But we do get a couple of, I think 1 or 2 nodes to ourselves. But there are a lot of gold. This is basically the gold mountain. So that person down there has just mined it all. There's 3 spawns down there. 2 or 3. But we managed to sneak one in at the top here. Get some cheeky iron. Gold, I mean, sorry. Gold does take a long time to mine. And right now in the early stages of the game, it's not really, we can't really use it, unfortunately, because the towns need a level 4 smelter. But I can see as in the coming weeks, gold is pretty rare, and it will be sought after. So it might be worth hoarding in your bank and looking to sell it if you're not wanting to use it. Because I'm sure the price will go up as all the goldsmiths will want it. And they'll probably buy some from the auction house and things like that. And also you likely need it to craft platinum. So now we're just heading back now to the start of the loop. You will come across some more resources here. You can come across some more iron. Here is where there's going to be some more river stems and some oil. And I mentioned at the start of the video, oil isn't used for too much, that I found at least anyway. But there are some nice occasional market board quests where it's like hand in 30 oil. And it's a quick bit of XP for not really having to do a whole lot since you've already gathered it, and it's some nice mining XP too. As you can see, lots and lots of river cress. Great stuff for making money on the auction house. And yeah, and if you keep hugging down here, you've got some oil, and also you've got some oil which I'll show you at some point. So this is the end of the start of the river. Oh, on the other side of this lake is some more oil. So you've got plenty of resources around here. But do keep an eye out when you are gathering these things on the edge. As you can see there, I found some iron. There are iron nodes dotted around in between the river and the mountains as well. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye out. And I'll just let you watch this until we hit the fast travel. Or you can skip ahead and we'll start talking about bits of the blue path. So this is what I was showing you earlier, the silver. I've come back here at a later time and the silver has respawned on top of the bridge. And we're going to be jumping down here and we are going to be taking that silver. Now there is a safe way to go down this, but I messed it up. If you look carefully, there's like some little ledges there. But we overshoot. And then you kind of get stuck here if you can't actually mine the silver. If you go down where I just did, you can't actually jump out until you mine it. So just a heads up there. There could be a realm where if you're actually not high enough mining to actually mine this, you could in theory get stuck. So you get 3 nice silver spawns here. And then we're going to jump down and keep heading east, and we're going to hug the mountain range to try and get back on track. And down here also you have some pigs, which you can get for your skinning up to. Easy to kill piggies. It's always nice. I got my skinning up pretty high. And you're going to need the raw hide for a lot of crafting goods. So level 23 mobs here. So some of the highest level beasts in this zone. And also you might have a kill quest to kill boars on your tracker. But they are level 23, so don't bother killing them unless you're like 20 plus. Otherwise it will probably take you too long. There is some super special ore over there. The Orcalium ore, I believe it's called, or something like that. I think you need 175 to mine that one. But it's worth noting that that is there on the blue track. And also I was just showing that here is more silver spawning as spawners as well. So here we're going to be heading towards that northeast settlement in the next region, where we're going to be looking for gold, iron and silver. Feel free to skip this part if you don't want to do this blue track part of the loop. But this is... You could get very lucky and find a lot of resources here. And if you really need the gold on the loop as well, then it could be worth coming here to pick that up. But just for the sake of it, I'm just going to show you around here. And this is where I would say most people think is the best area to actually gather. But little do they know there's another better area right on their doorstep. So you follow this little loop around and we're heading into a large chunk of so-called impassable terrain. And right in front of us, there's going to be two giant gold veins. I will say not a lot of people know about these veins. So if you do need the gold, it's quite likely that these two nodes are going to be up when you're doing this loop. So if you do need the gold, just purely need gold, then you might want to add this part to your loop and then maybe head back around. But there are a few iron spawners around and a few silver to the kind of like north-ish part of this impassable terrain. And I'm going to let you watch this part of the blue path until we get to the star metal. But I hope this video has helped you out. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more gathering guides or new world guides. And hopefully I can give you some cheeky hidden gathering loops for the other resources such as hemp and food that I mentioned earlier. So here, a cheeky video at the end to kind of close off the video. I had just hit level 100 mining. And I was so proud of myself. I've been wanting to get the star metal for such a long time. So we're heading over to that shipwreck. And there's 3 spawners right up here. So one of those potions I just popped is called Proficiency Booster. So I'm actually getting 10% more ore from gathering this. So we're going to mine those 3. First one gave 18. And interestingly, I think the little ones gave more. It takes a tad longer than the gold ore to get. But this is going to be my mining loop, I think, for quite some time. But if I find any other mining loops, I'll let you guys know. Because I'm sure over time there's going to be more and more people heading here. So we'll definitely be sure to subscribe to make sure you're aware. And there you just saw a little encumbered bug. I don't know why it does that. If you hit just over your encumbered, after you've done a gathering, the game kind of glitches the character out. It looks kind of funny. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, all the best. And don't accidentally fall off any cliffs. Oh, and don't forget to stay very awesome.